welcome to Let's Replay Mega Man 6. This is going to be a good one. In the year 20XX AD, the first annual robot tournament was held. With 8 of the world's most powerful robots, but Mr. X, the sponsor of the tournament, took control of the robots and began to take over the world. Mr. X, why? It's time to tell you the truth. I've been manipulating that fool, Dr. Wily, from the beginning. But now I am no longer in need of Wily's help. Come and face my power, Mega Man. We'll stop you. Follow me, Rush. But yes, everyone, welcome to Let's Replay Mega Man 6. This is going to be probably one of my favorite replays on this. Starting right off, we're going into Windman's stage. Windman. With propellers and a jet engine, he can generate wind. He has a strong rivalry with Airman. Good point, he's a good cook. Random, but alright. Bad point, he's bad with bicycles, and I know that feeling. He likes kung fu, and he dislikes herb medicines. Yeah, reading the Mega Man and base bios again. Anyway, I decided to redo this game because the original playthrough is nowhere near as good as I'd like it to be. Plus, I kind of went in a strange order that I usually don't go in, and I kind of went a bit weirded out in the game because of that. So let's get right into it, shall we? Now, Airman stage is very, well, wind-based, of course. There's a lot of fans all over the place that like to push you up and down and all around, and change some of the platforming gimmicks, which is actually rather fun. And the music is rather loud in my ears, so I'm gonna turn that down. Now, constantly throughout the stage, from this point on in the stage, there's gonna be a lot of instant death traps, whether it be bottomless pits or spikes, and you're gonna have to deal with the wind to make sure that you don't go into said spikes or bottomless pits. But it's nowhere near as bad as it sounds. But never let yourself get fully blown up by those, well, first off, never jump or, let me rephrase that, never jump onto those fans in the previous screen, you'll die. Now, as for these platforms, when you jump on them, they'll switch to the other side, so be careful that you don't stand on them for too long, otherwise you're gonna end up falling, and that causes death. There's a 1-up and some extra life there if you need, well, 1-up and extra life. There's a 1-up and some extra energy there if you need it, but I only went there for the life. Everything else is just collateral, I guess. Now, Windman is actually a Chinese robot master. He is from the country of China. I believe he was designed by someone Chinese. It's either that or Japanese, because this was actually the very first Mega Man game ever since 3 that we got that we were allowed to send in applications from Nintendo Power to get a Robot Master design in. Ones that I know for a fact that our fans made was Tomahawk Man, who is the that American one. I believe Blizzard Man was designed by a Canadian. Blade Man from 10 is based off an art piece from that you see in the credits of Mega Man 8, and Sword Man is also based off of someone Zealous' drawing. But that's for Mega Man 8 when we get to it. And we're at the boss. Oh, this game goes by so quickly. Now, Windman, if you're going in a different order, is weak to the Centaur Flash, but we're not going to get that for quite some time. So just constantly use your charge attacks, or charge shots. Whenever he's sucking you in, slide away, jump over his projectiles, which are fairly easy to dodge, and whenever he's trying to land on top of you, make sure you slide out of the way, because if I remember correctly, he hurts a lot, but it's been a while since I took damage from him. In fact, I think the last time I took damage from him was when I first recorded the original Let's Play. Ooh. And for beating him, we get the... I'm skipping on the name right now for some reason... Windstorm. It's a basic projectile. You shoot it and it falls along the ground until it hits a target or a wall. Fairly simple. But it's nothing too weird. And now we're heading on to Flame Man. Flame Man. He has a small fuel generator installed in his body. He has to refuel his energy 3 times a day. Good point, he's punctual. Bad point, he's demanding. He likes to trim his beard. He has a beard. And he dislikes cheap oil. Yeah, from what I've heard, the more expensive the oil, the better it is for your car, so I'm not too sure about that. And I'm gonna say this right now. I love Flame Man's theme. Then again, I love this game's soundtrack as a whole. But whenever you see this oil on the ground, and you see those little orange robots, shoot them before they set the oil on fire, because that fire is instant kill. So be careful not to fall into it. Also, for some reason, if you die, I might be... I think it has to do with the limits of the NES, but... if you die and some oil was set on fire, it's going to stay on fire, so be careful of that. Now, as for these little guys that I'm jumping on top of, you can only knock them over with a charge shot, as far as I know it, because I've always used that. I've never used anything else. And when you jump on them, they'll go in that direction you're facing, so be careful not to accidentally fall into lava while doing some lava. That's just fire. Sorry if my throat sounds a bit weird today. Just recorded the finale of Mega Man 04 last night, and Dr. Vile did a lot more of a thing on my throat than I thought. And if you haven't watched Zero 4 yet, go watch the Zero games. They're fantastic games to watch and play. I love this game soundtrack so freaking much. I'm gonna stop singing now. Sorry, that might happen a couple times in this game, because I know this game and its soundtrack far more than anyone should. Now, if you haven't watched the old Mega Man 6 LP yet, this game has something that, even though it was technically introduced in Mega Man 4, this is the first game I'm doing, technically, well, besides 7, that has a charge shot. Just hold down the shoot button for long enough, it'll come up. It makes a really annoying sound, so be careful of that. I know many people who don't like to use the charge shot just because of that, but I don't care. It's powerful, so I use it. I love that soundtrack! Anyway, we're at Flame Man now. He's weak to the windstorm, which is why I'm going this way, but I decided to escape on using it right now because I'm below half health. I'm probably going to, and I do, die. Fire! That was a very bad pun, I just realized, and I died. Let's try that again. Now, Flame Man's pattern is to shoot the weapon we're going to get from him across the screen in some sort of pattern which is somewhat random depending on where he is. Shoot some shots and then jump, but he's fairly simple. If you die to him, I don't fault you because he can be fairly tough, but he at least gives you a very useful weapon. I think it's also very powerful too. And you get the Fire Blast and the Rush Power Adapter. The Fire Blast, when you shoot it, it'll go forward a bit and land on the ground, shooting up fire tower upwards. If you shoot it onto a wall, it'll shoot it in the direction opposite of which you shot it. And we also get the Rush Power Adapter, which powers you up and makes you a pretty much powerhouse, but you can't slide. And we get Blizzard Man stage now. Blizzard Man, a robot created to monitor the weather. He can also make it snow. Good point, he's a good commentator. Hey, that's a fellow. Bad point, he's shady. He likes to ski, and he dislikes snowboards. I've never skied or snowboarded in my life, so I would not know. Also, Blizzard Man is Canadian. Which is very ironic, considering Canadians are far too peaceful to mix something like this. And then again, the competition was originally supposed to be in good sport before Mr. X went and took it over. Also, one thing I find out about this game, first off, here's the power adapter. Like I mentioned before, you can't slide, but you become very powerful. This game was released in 1993. The Super Nintendo was out for a year at this point. This was released almost the exact same month, I believe. If I can go look that up. If I remember correctly, this was released the exact same month as Mega Man X1. Also, E-Tanks. They restore your energy full, but you can only use them once. Now, the cool thing about the power adapters is it can actually destroy the enemies that usually have a shield in front of them, so that's actually much more useful than I think. than you'd think. Let's see, Mega Man X was first released in Japan on December 12th, 93. It released in North America and Europe the following year. No, I was wrong, actually. This was released in October 5th of 93 in Japan, North America the following March. My bad. Oh god, this game's turning 20 this year! And now we have this section. Also, I forgot to mention, the power adapter can also destroy blocks. I did that a couple times by this point, but I was kind of distracted looking up the dates. In this section, the submarine, submarine or some sort of weird boat is rising up and down out of the water. The spikes in it are instant death as usual, so be careful of that. And you need to precise platform your way through this, making sure you can get through it. Now, normally I'm risky enough to go down there and shoot that guy, but right now I just decided to use the wind tornado on him. Also, one weird thing is when you kill certain enemies with the wind tornado, they fly up in the sky, which is kind of odd. Anyway, destroy this block, quickly switch to normal form, and, what's it called? Slide to get all the way to that energy tank, so make sure you get that because that can be useful in the long run. Also, one big difference between this and the original LP, I'm not playing it on the GameCube, so I'm not playing it on the GameCube Anniversary Collection, so I'm gonna be doing a lot better. Not that the GameCube Anniversary Collection is bad, but making it so that the shoot button is A and just B, aka Metroid Prime logic, was not good in this game's case. I'm not sure why they did that. PS2 version keeps it the exact same as the PlayStation X and Mega Man games. So, thankfully. And we're coming up on Blizzard Man here. Now, Blizzard Man is weak to the Fire Blast, so have that on standby. And his pattern is to shoot out, or generate some, what's it called? Well, not his overall pattern, but his attacks are to generate some snowflakes that'll rain down upon you, and somewhat like the Balls of Demise, as I like to call them, that the Mega Man 7 final boss shoots out. And he'll also do the spin dash of Sonic the Hedgehog right across the screen, but it's fairly easy to dodge. He'll also move around. He's pretty much the robot master that hurts you by contact more often than not. Why am I coughing so much? I guess my throat really is damaged. And for beating him, we get the Blizzard attack, which is pretty much his snowflake attack. It sends 4 snowflakes out in 4 directions, which is fairly useful. But with that done, I'm gonna need to thank you, end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Replay Mega Man 6, we're going after Plant Man. See you guys then.